Okay, welcome back. Last time, in the last video, we talked about the differences between conversational and formal uses of relative pronouns. Okay. Between the I can't fit it on there. I'm sorry. Let's make this a little smaller. We talked about the differences between who, whom, and that. In conversations, we almost always use that instead of who or whom. And we're going to go on with the differences between conversational English and formal English, because in conversations we do something else here that makes identifying relative pronouns a little bit more tricky, especially if English is not your first language. Okay, it says relative pronouns that play the role of objects are often deleted when we talk. We don't put them in. Okay, only the ones that don't do the action. Okay, only the ones that don't do the action. If they do the action, then they can't be deleted because they're the subject. But if they're the object, they can be deleted, and they often are in conversation. Okay, so a couple of examples. You're going to have to look at here at the little print here. It says the project I am in charge of has been reasonably successful. You can see that should be there. The project that I am in charge of. It's an object though. It doesn't do the action, so they can delete it. The subjects whom we surveyed had all completed the questionnaire. Most people would not say that. They would say the subjects we surveyed had all completed the questionnaire. They are not doing it's the actions is done to them, so the relative pronoun usually disappears in conversation. You can take a look at these examples. It says you will notice that Americans in casual conversation almost always prefer to avoid the relative pronoun whom. You don't hear it very often. So we usually avoid that pronoun in conversations. We will almost always use the word that, or we will simply delete it. We won't use it at all. Okay. We're going to take a look at this at several examples here, so we can distinguish that. So it's the people that I met in Spain were very friendly. The people I met in Spain were very friendly. So we can get rid of that. Okay. The people I met in Spain were very friendly. So we can get rid of the relative pronoun that. Okay. And often we do in conversation. The people whom I met in Spain were relatively friendly. Okay, usually we'll replace whom with that, or we'll just delete it completely. All right. So you can continue reading. Why most Americans delete this is because they're not sure how to use it. Okay, so we delete it and leave it out of our language. Okay, and so let's take a look at here. It says all of the following sentences contain at least one adjective clause. Underline all the adjective clauses. Cross out the relative pronouns that can be deleted, including that. If the relative pronoun cannot be deleted, write OK above it. Remember, only if it's an object can that relative pronoun be deleted, and it is often deleted in conversation. All right. In our writing, we leave it in. In our conversations, we get rid of it naturally. So, but only if it's an object. If it's the subject, you're going to find that we can't delete it. All right. If it's the subject, we can't delete it. If it's the object, we can delete it. All right. So let's take a look at here. And let's do. I think there's how many of them are there? There's 15 of them. So we're going to do the first 5 together. All right. So. It says, I like authors who create a strong sense of place in their books. Okay, so I like authors, well, the antecedent is authors, who create a strong, can I get rid of who? Number one, I know it's the subject because it's who. If it was the object, it would be whom. I know I can get rid of objects, but I cannot get rid of subjects. I have to leave that in there, but let's see why. Okay, I like authors create a strong sense of place. Doesn't make sense. Okay, I like authors who create a strong sense of place. So you can see that the sentence just cannot be said without it. Okay, so we have to leave it in there. That's a relative pronoun that's essential. It's necessary. Okay. And then we're going to go to the next one. The movie stars that we have today are not the role models that movie stars used to be. The movie stars, well, can I get rid of that? Let's see. Let's try to say it without there. Well, let's try to say it without this word. Is this an object? Or is it the subject? Does it do the action, or does it have something done to it? Let me see. The movie stars that we have today, the movie stars, let's get rid of it. The movie stars we have today are not the role models that movie stars used to be. The movie stars we have today, well, that sure makes sense. I can say it without that, can't I? So I can get rid of it. That must be an object. Okay. Object. I can say it without the word. Yellow dog is a political term used to describe a Democrat who would vote for a yellow dog before he would vote for a Republican. Okay, so let's take a look here. Well, Democrat, and then who is a relative pronoun. Let's see if I can get rid of it. Yellow dog is a political term used to describe a Democrat would vote. Doesn't make sense. So it must be doing the action. The Democrat would vote, or who would vote. So who is the subject? It's doing the action. It's not having the action done to it. It must stay there. Okay. So I would write okay above it. Okay. It has to stay there. You should take a jacket that can wear you can wear if it gets cold. You should take a jacket that you can wear if it gets cold. Let me see if I can get rid of it. You should take a jacket you can wear if it gets cold. Oh, it's an object. How else do I know it's an object? Well, let's take a look. That refers to jacket, right? Well, let's see if the jacket is doing the action. You should take a jacket. Is the jacket wearing something? Nope, it's being worn. Okay, it's definitely something is done to it, so it's the object. Okay, you should take a jacket that can be worn if it gets cold. You should take a jacket you can wear if it gets cold. So this would be an object. Okay, let's do one more. They were the players whom the press identified as taking payoffs. I already know it's an object because it's whom, so I can get rid of it. But let's see why. Are players doing the action here? Let's see. They were the players whom the press identified. Well, the press is the one that did the action, not the players. The press identified something, the players did not. So this is an object, whom. So I can get rid of it, because I can get rid of objects. Let's see if I can say it without it. They were the players the press identified as taking payoffs. Sure is. I can say it without that. All right. So I would cross this out, and I would put object. All right. Well, if you have any questions, please come by before or after school, and I will help you work through the rest of them. Please read the section. All we're doing is determining which is the object or the subject. If it can be deleted from the sentence, it is an object. It is not doing the action. If the relative pronoun cannot be deleted from the subject, from the sentence, it is the subject of the adjectival clause, and it must remain there for the sentence to be proper. Okay? So, I think that is pretty clear. I will see you in the next video. And of course, I want you to do all 15 of these. Good luck.